Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, good evening, and thank you so much for joining me this evening on the late one. It's a beautiful and a tranquil, lovely Sunday evening, the 24th of October 2021. Thank you for those who are going to be joining us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook as well. For those on Instagram, you're not going to see two persons, you're just going to see one, just me. But if you want to see the guest, Paul Chambers, and what we're talking about, you can jump right over onto YouTube, right? And that is Silburn TV, or on Facebook as well. Okay, wonderful. Well, anyway, listen, this is we're still in Black History Month, and one of the things that I want to talk about tonight, I want to talk about the Jamaica Legion Poppy Appeal. There's a virtual concert which is coming, but I'm going to have some sort of discussion with Paul Chambers, and we're going to hear about a Poppy Appeal. We always hear about Poppy Appeal for in the UK, but we're going to hear about the Jamaica Legion's Poppy Appeal as well. But without further ado, I'm going to bring in Paul Chambers right now. Good evening, Paul. How are you doing, sir?
Hello. I am well and happy to be here.
Yes. I don't know if you heard my opening.
Yes.
I think it was about 5-0 to Manchester United or Liverpool. I don't know. What was that? What we're talking about today?
You always start your show off on a bad footing. All right, let's get that out of the way, and then we can speak of more positive things. Yes, it was 5-0. But in football, they say anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's the ball. The ball is round. It's not like
the ball is round. The ball is round, and these men are kicking the balls around and stuff like
that.
And
the best teams always have a moment of calm and a moment for them to go back and look at themselves. So that's what happened this evening.
But I thought by them bringing in Ronaldo, that is it Ronaldo? Ronaldo. I thought there would have been things would have been fantastic for Manchester United.
He has made a difference, but you will have.
I guess what you're saying, it could have been 6-0.
Well, yeah, and it could have gone the other way.
Yes,
and then you would never ask the question.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes, okay.
Anyway, how are you, Paul? How are you doing? Everything? Okay.
Yeah, I'm very good.
Well, listen, the reason we're gonna have a quick show tonight, because I know you got a busy schedule there. It's about the Jamaica Legion Poppy Appeal.
Yeah.
We all hear about Poppy all the while, and those in the UK we just hear about Poppy. But I remember growing up in Jamaica, we also used to have the Poppy thing, from those days. But it always resonates to England in a way. Well, you're going to give us some sort of breakdown as to the Jamaica Legion Poppy Appeal. But before we go any further, Paul, you're the chair for JESA, isn't it?
Jamaica Ex-Soldiers Association, UK.
Yes. Tell us about the Jamaica Ex-Soldiers Association and your involvement first.
Well, from a broader perspective, the Jesa movement started about 30 years ago in Canada, where a number of ex-JDF soldiers used to meet, and they came together. And they show interest and concern of veterans from the JDF in Jamaica who maybe were in need of help. So they start meeting, and after a while they formulated. And I think after a year, they became a formal group. So Jesa Canada is almost 30-year-old. After that, there was a chapter started in New York. One in Miami, then Jamaica. I might not be saying it in the right order, but these chapters exist. There's one in Houston. I think there is a plan to have one in another area in the USA. So and then the UK, we started meeting in 2009. After about 2 years, we became constituted, and around about 2013, we became a charitable organization, registered charity.
Right. Okay. So you're a soldier boy, you're a kick up bad boy.
Well, I served my country.
Boy, you're so dignified.
Whatever was required for me to serve my country, I did it dutifully.
We always hear about Jamaican soldiers all the while. You bring out the soldiers then to beat up bad boy, you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, yeah, well, it's if it's required, but we try to serve and protect. That's what it is all about.
You know, man, dry your tongue, dry your tongue. Dry your tongue. But anyway, moving on again swiftly on.
Yes.
So the Jamaican Legion Poppy Appeal. Tell us about this virtual concert and what's happening and what's the drive behind it as well. Yeah.
So you had mentioned that when you were growing up, you used to hear of Poppy Appeal and about UK. Right. So for 100 years now, after the Second World War, the Royal British Legion have been using the poppy as a symbol of remembrance for those who died for their country, particularly in the UK, in England, and in the Commonwealth.
Yes.
So all the countries that are part of the Commonwealth also celebrate the Remembrance Day or Armistice Day, whichever day it falls on. And so in Jamaica, we've always celebrated Remembrance Sunday as well.
Yes.
Now, the Poppy Appeal here in the UK raised a lot of money to help many military charities. And in Jamaica, it's a similar situation where the Jamaica Poppy Appeal actually raised funds for a place called Curfew Home. Now, Curfew Home is a residential home that was set up in 1957 to basically, it was a haven for Second World War soldiers who needed care and assistance and support. So it's still going. There's about 16 residents there, including a centenarian who actually served in the RAF, a sprightly 100-year-old. So what normally happens is that the Jamaica Legion Poppy Appeal would have a concert in the garden at Curfew Place, which is in Swallowfield.
Yes.
And the concert you would be entertained by the Jamaica Military Band.
Yes.
And the proceeds from that concert would go to the coffers to help with the upkeep and the maintenance of Curfew Home. Last year, with the advent of COVID, it wasn't possible to have the concert. So the chairman of the Jamaica Poppy Appeal came up with this innovative idea of having a virtual concert. And it was called Vets for Vets. And what he did was he asked the veteran DJs who use military ranks as their moniker, like Admiral Bailey, Admiral Tibet, that sort of thing. He asked them to perform for the Jamaican veterans. And it was successful. And so in the debrief or after the concert, it was thought that they should have another genre of music apart from dancehall. And the idea emerged that gospel concert would maybe be one that is well received as well. So earlier this year, on behalf of the Governor General, who is the chief patron of the Jamaica Poppy Appeal, the chairman of the Poppy Appeal Association asked Jesa UK if we would consider keeping the gospel concert element of the Poppy Appeal drive. And we thought it was an honor for us to be asked. And so we started to develop the concept and the idea of how we could actually deliver such a concert.
And now you're in the throes of it now, whereby November the 14th is a key date. But you had wanted to have a physical thing first.
Yes, right. So it's an inaugural event. It's the first time that our servicemen and women will be commemorated in music outside of Jamaica. And so we had originally planned to have it on the 30th of October, which means that we would be closing the celebrations on Black History Month, and we would have opened curtains on the Remembrance season. However, it was not to be. We had contingency planned, contingency plan that if, for example, there was an issue with COVID, then we would make the concert a virtual concert. And so last week, when we realized that there are some technical issues that maybe would not be resolved by the 30th, we decided to execute Plan B. And Plan B is that all the performers will be in recording their songs, and there will also be some special mention of some of our ex-servicemen and women who had illustrious careers in our society. So we'll have performances, we'll have some reading of mention of people like, Dr. Otto Wint, Ernest Spirit, and other veterans who served us quite well. And so we'll put a program together, and a fantastic program, and we will be streaming it on Remembrance Sunday. And for the UK, we will be streaming it at 8 p.m. so that we give people the opportunity to go out, celebrate Remembrance, maybe go to whatever various events they would have gone to for the day, then come home, have their dinner, and then they will maybe relax to some fantastic gospel music streamed right into their houses, free of cost. We're only asking you that if you are moved by the music, if you like the music, just hit the donate button and send some money for us. So not for us, actually. The money will be going to Jamaica, to Curfew Home.
So therefore, we're not talking about hit the button and start dance. Hit the button and start to donate.
Well, you could do it in this either order. Hit the button, dance, then donate, or donate and dance. But Paul, it will be an enjoyable event.
Yes. Can I just say to you while we're talking, you're seeing me clearly, yes?
Yeah.
And everything is going well. My screen is frozen, but we're talking still, so let's keep talking.
Well, I am seeing you moving around, so I'm not sure if it is frozen. But
no, it's not frozen. It's not frozen, but there's a little glitch there in the meantime.
Good.
Let's just talk a bit about the okay, yeah, I think I see what's up. There we are. Got you back. Paul?
Okay. Yes, okay. I'm here.
Fantastic, yeah.
I was always here.
Soldiers, we were talking about some of the different artists that people are going to see.
Oh. Okay, so we have a group called Town Hall Gospel Choir. It's an award-winning group.
Yes.
They're from Birmingham. They will be the only group on the program. We have a lady by the name of Annette B. She's a reggae gospel singer, and quite a formidable person in the industry because she has put on shows herself. I think she promoted Gospel Explosion last year. There is Lighty Powell, who is the gospel version of Dennis Brown. Sings just like Dennis Brown. I think, he was as a young man inspired by Dennis Brown. There is a poet who will be Dave, and Dave will be creating a poem from the inspiration he has gotten from the concert and the individuals that we're commemorating. So he writes his poem based on the inspiration that comes to him.
As you can see, I got the pictures up there so people can see them as well. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And there will be Marilia Simpson. Marilia served in the British Army for 13 years. And there is a fantastic story about her. She was buried on the wall from a bomb. And the only thing that kept her alive is singing the song that her mom
Wow.
sang to her when she was younger.
Wow. Wow.
And then there is Mark Johnson, who writes a book called The Volunteers at War.
Yes.
He'll be giving a talk. Commonwealth War Graves Commission will be presenting a new 2.5-minute film, which is called Remembrance Today, what remembrance means today. And then there's Bishop Paul McCullough, who's a bishop in Birmingham, and Reverend Michael King, who is the son of another
Sam King.
veteran. Yeah, Sam King.
Yes,
and Bishop Paul and Reverend Michael will be blessing a bronze puppy in a case. And once they've blessed it, we will call that bronze puppy the Arthur Wint Memorial Puppy.
Right.
And that will be the focal point of the concert.
Okay, so that's very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are just joining, I'm with Paul Chambers, who is the chairman for JESA, Jamaica Ex-Servicemen Association.
Known as Jesa.
Jesa. Is that similar to the West Indian ex-servicemen? Is it the same?
No. We started, our membership started with people who served in the Jamaica Defense Force.
Yes.
We have now grown, our membership has grown to people who served in the Jamaica Defense Force and then came here and served as well, and are now veterans.
Right.
They are also members of the British Armed Forces who served in Jamaica and are still serving here, and they are at the top of their rank. We have people who are Jamaicans who came here and joined the army here, and they're still serving or have left. And then we have civilians as well, people who have never served, but people who understand what we're about and support the cause and the aims and the objectives of Jesa.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, those on Instagram who are not seeing the guest, which is Paul Chambers, we are talking about the Jamaica Legion Poppy Appeal Virtual Gospel Concert, which is going to be held on the 14th of November, 2021. This is another Black History Month special. At the end of the show, Paul will also talk about one of the great stalwarts who just passed away as well, and we do a little tribute because this is a part of Black history, isn't it, Paul? This is history.
Indeed.
You know, and normally sometimes we are not hearing some other persons. Normally at Black History Time, we're always hearing the same names each time, and I really strongly believe that we should start to be talking about persons when they're alive as well. You know, Paul, you're going to say something,
If I might say, Sylvan, we come from a culture of storytelling. Anansi stories, remember Miss Lou, and that is how we carry through generations. The positive aspect of our lives as people who emanated from Africa. I think the day has come and passed where we can grumble and complain that other people don't include us in their history. We can do it ourselves. We have mobile phone, which is such a powerful instrument, and we have Instagram. I'm here on an iPad speaking to you. I don't even know where you are. It is time that we start telling our stories. And the stories are there to be told. And so this is what Jesa is about. It is about bringing to life the stories of West Indians and Jamaicans in particular who have served Jamaica and the British Empire and served the world. So, for example, if I can quickly say that the Jamaica Defense Force was formed in 1962. But it came out of a regiment, a set of regiments called the West India Regiment, which was formed around 1795. And these regiments were used in the warmer climates to protect the country, the British Islands and all of that. And then we also have the British West Indian Regiment, which was formed in 1915 in England of West Indians who actually traveled to England to serve the mother country. And there are a number of people who we know in our society, who are part of our society, that we didn't, and some people don't know that these people actually served. So, for example, Norman Manley was a sergeant in the Royal Artillery. And he actually, when he finished, he got a military medal, you know. So yeah, we need to tell the stories. And the stories must not only be told for 30 days in Black History Month. We must tell the story every day to our young children, because that is where they will understand the relevance of us being in this country and the relevance of Jamaica being an independent country, and why we as Black people need to be proud of our contribution to the peace that we take for granted now.
Yeah, I can tell you this: the two persons that commented on the show earlier, they're my children upstairs, 9 and 14.
Okay.
to keep abreast of it, they're my greatest fans, you know, and to watch what's going on. Before we go, still, because I'm mindful we have something else I don't want to talk about. Let's quickly do. Can we do 1 minute about the puppy? Tell us about the story about the puppy, because you've got a different type of puppy at the same time. The Jamaica Legion, slightly bit separate from the type for the UK, isn't it? Am I correct saying that, Paul?
Yes, that's right. Okay, so the poppy is a flower.
Yes.
And it's not only red, you have white poppy, you have purple poppy.
Yes.
And there's an organization that call it the Black Poppy Rose as well. Sorry. So from ancient days, the Greeks and used to use the poppy, put it on tombstone as a symbol of peace, as a symbol of sleep, of death, of remembering those who died.
Yes.
However, in the Napoleonic War, on the fields that were totally plundered, the first plant to pop up, to emerge, was a poppy.
Yes.
And then, so we're talking about 17 something or another.
Yes.
And then after the Second World War, 1919, thereabout, again, one of the areas of France called Flanders, which took the heaviest pounding from all the forces. The first plant to pop up then was the poppy. And this time it was a red poppy. And so since then, the red poppy, which you're showing there, that poppy is one that I was driving through Sidcup, and I stopped and I saw it growing just randomly. And I took a picture of it.
So that's your copyrighted version. Nobody can take it.
That's my signature puppy. But yeah, since 1921, the Royal British Legion have been using a paper version to commemorate those who died in England, from the UK, and from the Commonwealth. But there's copyright to it, as you say. So the Jamaica Legion puppy design is similar to the Canadian puppy design. I do not know the legality behind it, but I know that they have a different puppy as such. And so, we are asking people in the diaspora. It's the first time that the Jamaica Legion Puppy Appeal is reaching out to us. And I'm asking us to recognize that in Jamaica, we still have people who served in the Second World War. And not only that, we have people who have served in the Jamaica Defense Force, which is the last bastion of the discipline in Jamaica. The Jamaica Defense Force have been holding up this country for a very long time. And I think we are all indebted to it. And we need to show our gratitude to the fact that we have one organization that in some respect, and it have its faults, but in some respect, the Jamaica Defense Force is one of the pillars of Jamaica. And we who had the good fortune of serving in it still continue to show service before self by making sure that those who are now in their twilight years can live with some dignity and to be not to be sorry that they gave their youth, the exuberant youth, to serve the country.
I must say, Paul, that I agree with you, because in all of Jamaica, growing up in Jamaica, we always hear the army. When they call it, people always say, call out the army, man, call out the army. There's a level of respect and a high level of esteem. We look up to the army in Jamaica as much as possible. Even today, even when they had the issue with the child being missing and everything, people say, call out the army, because they believe that once you call out the army, you're not seen it as a threat. You know, like some countries, the army is going to be like a threat. The army is coming out like a savior, like one of those pillars of Jamaica. And thank you for your service and everything. But before we go, can we talk about the late Mr. So you wanna?
That's another call coming through.
Yeah.
From a radio station. But yeah, I'll quickly. What time is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Let me just.
I mean,
was one of our stalwart.
Yes.
Passed last week, and I think you have a video that shows a little bit about his life.
Yes.
So if I could jump off here and go on this call, but
because you've got
in the video it tells his life story and what he did over the years. So yeah, I need to jump off because somebody else called.
Yes, I know you got another interview. Yes. All right, Paul. Well, listen, thank you so much. I can wrap up this now because I've got all the information and give and I'll do the summing up with the late Mr. Wilmot with his story. Thank you so much for that. And and I'll
thanks for having me.
No problem, Pablo. Cheers, sir. All the best. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just had Paul Chambers a while ago, and talking about the Jamaica concert, the virtual concert, which is coming up very soon, which is going to be on the 14th of November 2021. Those on Instagram as well. You can watch the show later. Those on Facebook and those on YouTube. That's going to be the first, the inaugural one. And every year they're going to do it on the 30th of October, which is closing Black History Month. Black History Month is very crucial. That's why I call this a Black History Month special. But one of the great stalwarts just passed away, and I'm going to just play a tribute to him. I must say though that the music that I'm going to play with it. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can do something instead of playing the music which I have with it, which I'm not too sure about the copyright thing. You know, I got to be careful with the copyright issue. I'm gonna see if I can actually put my own one of the tracks which I can use to the background music, if anything like that, of the late Mr. Wilmot, and a tribute to him. So here we go. Let me see if I can do it here. And that's the video. And I will try to get one of my nice ambient music, see if that can go with it. Don't know if you can hear it, but here we go. Okay, so that's it there, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for joining tonight. And that was a wrap. And we got a good show going. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to wish you a wonderful week. And I want to thank you so much for joining tonight on the late one Black History Month special. Hopefully next week, Wednesday, I should have someone talking about the Lumi. This is something from an African diaspora or Pan-African perspective about how we can actually use our resources, whatever, and work together strategically within the Black community worldwide as a tool where we barter. So I'm supposed to get someone to come on the show. I don't want to give too much information yet until I actually have it all firmed up. But I'm using this platform as much as possible to educate us, to empower us. One of my shows last night on Talking Sip, we spoke about how if the Prime Minister, the Health Secretary, talk about a shutdown, a lockdown again in the UK, how will you fare? Yeah, people are sometimes 3 weeks, months, 2 months away from poverty or dire straight with their mortgage. If they lose their job, if they're not able to actually go out to work, if they cannot work from home and all this virtual thing, and there's no furlough. So that is something that we're going to look at as well, keeping a presence on that. And make sure you also do your exercise. You walk and talk motivational moments, the thing which I do every morning. You can follow me on that every morning. And if I don't do it in the morning, I still have videos which I can put out there because I'm always doing some exercise, doing some skipping, getting out there as much as possible, being fit, ladies and gentlemen, setting the ambience for your life, setting the ambience for your family as much as possible, kicking diabetes, kicking all these sort of sickness. Don't wait till something come back like another COVID or so, whereby you're under, you got these under ailments, these sicknesses underline. Let us not make them underline. Let's kick it now. Let's use this time and this opportunity when we have these lockdown, when we are actually able to work and to focus and to think that we don't wait until something happens. We make things happen. And as Paul said, we got lots of information to our disposal where we don't have to wait for a Black History Month, October UK, February USA, to talk about this and to empower ourselves and to empower children. We've got it, we know it, and we can do it. Have a great week. My name is Silburn, and peace out. Bless you. Boom.